celebrating the senior class of the Pine-Richland girls varsity soccer team. This year, Pine-Richland has the privilege and honor of celebrating 8 seniors who will be graduating this coming spring. And with that, we will be introducing them in numerical order as they walk across the field with their families. Would you please first give a warm round of applause for all the seniors? Number 1, Shay Best. Number 4, Sophie Salas. Sophie Salas is being escorted by her mom and dad, Gretchen and Rob, as well as her sister Abby and brothers Ben and Alex. Sophie's been playing soccer at 4 years old and has been dedicated to the game for the past 14 years. Over the years, she's played for PRGS for 13 years and for Beedling Soccer Academy for 8 years. In addition to soccer, she's also been involved in school activities such as Best Buddies and student government, and has maintained a place on the honor roll throughout high school. Sophie is also a 2-year member of Dick's Sporting Goods Girls Power Panel. Her favorite soccer memory is dressing up for Halloween practices and seeing Coach Wiggin walk out of the locker room in a minion costume. What Sophie will miss most about playing soccer at Pine-Richland is sharing the field with her lifelong best friends. Next year, Sophie plans to continue her education and pursue a degree in physical therapy. Sophie would like to thank her parents for always traveling and being there to support her every step of the way. To the younger players, her biggest piece of advice is to never take these years for granted. The practices, the bus rides, the wins, the losses, and even the hard conditioning days like running the 5-mile all go by much faster than you think. What might feel like just another drill or another game is actually becoming part of some of your best memories. Next, number 6, Aubrey Bennett. Number 7, Emmy Klein. Emmy Klein is being escorted by her dad, Ben Klein, and her mom, Amy Boyle, and her sisters, Charlie and Lucy Klein. Emmy started playing soccer in preschool and has been a huge part of her life ever since. She has played for club teams FC Pittsburgh, North United Century Pittsburgh Riverhounds ECNL and currently plays for Beadling GA. Outside of soccer, Emmy has earned honor roll since 7th grade and enjoys skiing as well as hanging out with her friends in free time. Next year, Emmy plans to play Division I soccer and attend a 4-year university studying finance. One memory from Pine-Richland soccer that she will never forget is scoring the game winner versus North Allegheny this year. Emmy will miss having the opportunity to play with her sister Charlie for the past 2 years and all the friendships she has built with her teammates. A piece of advice she would like to give to younger teammates is to build friendships and enjoy having the opportunity to represent your school because you will miss it when it is all over. Emmy would like to thank her parents for the countless sacrifices they have made for her to help her not only grow as a soccer player but as a person as well. She would like to thank her dad for going out to practices with her all the time. Also like to thank her coaches, Rob, David, Blair, Matt, and JR, for always believing in her and pushing her to be the best. And lastly, she wanted to thank her family and friends for all of their support. Next, number 8, Elle Cassidy. Elle Cassidy is being escorted by her parents, Joe and Eileen Cassidy. Elle started playing soccer in kindergarten and has been playing for 13 years with Steel City FC in Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Outside of soccer, she's part of student government, track and field, ski club, and also has been recognized for all 3 years of high school for achieving the highest honor roll. Next year, Elle plans to attend a 4-year university to study pre-med. One memory from Pine-Richland soccer that she will never forget is dressing Coach Wing It Up for Halloween practice. The thing she will miss most about playing soccer at Pine-Richland is her coaches and teammates, who she has played with since PRGS. A piece of advice Elle would like to give to the younger teammates is to cherish every moment as it goes by so fast. Elle would like to thank her parents for all the experiences they have provided to her through soccer and being her biggest supporters. Next, number 10, Lily DeJesus. Lily DeJesus is being escorted by her parents, Angie and Nelson DeJesus. Lily started playing soccer at the age of 5 and has been playing for 12 years. Over the years, she has played for Century and Beadling, and for the past 6 years, she has played with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. At school, she is involved in the Best Buddies Club and student government, and she has consistently earned the highest honor roll since her freshman year. Next year, Lily plans to attend Duquesne University, where she will continue both her academic and athletic career playing Division I soccer. Her favorite soccer memory is getting the chance to play high school soccer with her sister for 2 of her 4 years, something she will always treasure. What she will miss the most are the friendships and memories made on and off the field with her amazing teammates, along with the countless inside jokes that will never be forgotten. Lily would like to thank her dad for being her #1 supporter and biggest fan on the sidelines. She is forever grateful for the long overnight drives to games and for the pep talks he gave her along the way. Lily would like to thank her mom for always pushing her to be the best, both on and off the field. Her mom's confidence in her is something she will always carry with her and cherish for years to come. To her younger teammates, Lily's biggest advice is to have fun. It goes by faster than you think, so don't take a single moment for granted. Next, number 11, Molly Baker. Molly Baker is being escorted by her parents, Karen and Will Baker, and her brother Brady, and is a 3-year varsity letter winner. Molly's been playing soccer for 13 years, and along with playing for Pine-Richland, she plays for the Century Girls Academy Club. Outside of soccer, Molly has been on the honor roll for all 4 years of high school, is a member of NHS and an AP Scholar. Molly works as a barista at Starbucks, and she dances and is a member of the Pine-Richland track and field team. Next year, she plans to attend a 4-year university. Her favorite soccer memory is scoring the game-winning goal against Butler this year. A piece of advice Molly would like to give to younger players to have fun and love what you do, because when you look back on it, you want to know that you enjoy it. Molly would like to thank her parents for the countless hours and miles dedicated to getting her to all her activities over the years. And even though her and her brothers fight sometimes, she would like to thank them for always being supportive and being an inspiration to her. And finally, number 13, Riley White. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give one more big round of applause for all the seniors for the Pine-Richland girls soccer team.
Something inside that I can't ignore. Oh, I feel it tonight. That look in your eyes got me begging for more. Oh, I feel it tonight. There's something inside that I can't ignore. Oh, I feel it tonight. That look in your eyes got me begging for more.
Pine-Richland School District believes good sportsmanship is an integral component of interscholastic competition. In order for good sportsmanship to prevail, coaches, student athletes, and fans must display respect, fairness, civility, honesty, and responsibility before, during, and after all athletic contests. We encourage fans to enthusiastically support their team, recognize outstanding performance of opponents, and always exhibit good sportsmanship in their words and in their actions. Tonight we are celebrating the seniors, and let us take a moment and celebrate the Allderdice seniors. Number 12 is Emma Daly. Number 0, Emma Daly. Number 4, Maddie Schneider. Number 11, Dahlia Farkas. Number 18, Kimberly Hernandez. And number 21, Mariah Neese. Let's give a warm round of applause for all the Allderdice High School seniors. And now the lineups. The Dragons are head coached by Jeremiah Dugan and assisted by Sean Carney and David Morris. Number 0, senior Emma Daly. Sophomore, number 2, Brooklyn Potter. Senior, number 4, Maddie Schneider. Sophomore, number 10, Eliza Schneider. Number 2, sophomore, Brooklyn Potter.
2, is that the
Number 17, sophomore, Noah Offner. Number 19, junior, Sylvie Bales. Number 21, senior, Mariah Neese. Sophomore, number 22, Kalea Sheriff.
2, 3, 4, 17, 19, 21.
Number 24, sophomore, Olivia Boyle.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Number 33, freshman, Lily Shevitz.
2, 4, 6, 8,
Do you have
9,
3 out there?
10.
Do you have 3 out there?
Yeah, but you said you called her number 10, I think.
I called her 3.
Number 5.
Number 5. And number 5, freshman, Alexa Leventon.
She was number 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah.
And now, the lineups for your own Pine-Richland Rams. Pine-Richland is coached by Jordan Wiegand and assisted by Tim McCarthy, Erica Wasik, and Jordan Trauma. And now your starting 11. Freshman, number 15, defender, Kendall Huey. Sophomore, number 19, midfielder, Charlie Klein. Junior, number 17, midfielder, Lily Rosenwasser. Senior, number 4, defender, Sophie Salas. Senior, number Number 13, defender, Riley White. Senior, number 11, forward, Molly Baker. Senior, number 10, forward, Lily DeJesus. Senior, number 7, midfielder, Emmy Klein. Senior, number 8, defender, L. Cassidy. Senior, number 6, midfielder, Aubrey Bennett. And senior, number 1, your goalkeeper, Shay Best. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would now please stand, and gentlemen, if you can remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Are you not talking?
Thank you, and good luck to both teams, and roll Rams.
And so the sun has set in Gibsonia as the Pine-Richland girls soccer class of 2026 gets ready to ride off into the sunset. It is senior night at Pine-Richland High School. Hello, good evening, and welcome. I'm Matt Popchock. Pleased to be back once again for Pittsburgh Soccer Now's special live coverage of Pine-Richland Senior Night 2025. The Rams contending for their first WPIAL girls soccer title in nearly 20 years, closing out the non-section portion of their regular season with just a couple more matches left in their regular season schedule before they can think about postseason hopes and dreams. They take on tonight the City League frontrunners at the moment, the Allderdice Dragons. Pine-Richland coming in with a 12-2-1 overall record, 5-2-1 in Section 3 of WPIAL 4A, coached by Jordan Wigand, who is pulling double duty this season and quite well. A couple of years ago, he led the Pine-Richland boys to a historic first title, trying to bring gold back to the girls program as well. And Allderdice playing a very tough schedule of WPIAL opponents, despite the recent changes in scheduling between WPIAL and City League Soccer. Allderdice coming in with an 8-5 mark overall. And the Dragons, decked out in their white kits with the white socks, will get the first touch, and they'll move the ball from right to left on your TV, computer, or mobile device to begin this match. The host Pine-Richland Rams honoring those 8 senior players during pregame, decked out in their green kits with the green pants and black socks. And they move the ball quickly from right to left, across into the box, right at Allderdice goalkeeper Emma Daly, one of the Dragons' 2025 seniors. Daly wearing a pink keeper kit with pink socks, white gloves, a towering clearance, but it falls short. And the Rams have this ball at the top of the attacking third. It comes near side to Molly Baker. Baker creating space at the edge of the box, but fires wide of the near post. And it'll be a goal kick for the Dice. These teams met earlier in the regular season at Couples Stadium, September 17th. The Rams victorious by 3-0. And the Rams will get a throw-in on the Allderdice half of the pitch from along the near touchline. It is Kendall Huey, the first year, putting it back into play for the Rams. Her ball comes into the box, but no harm done as it's cleared back to midfield by the Dragons. Playing it near side for Allderdice, Lily Shevitz. Tonight, a night of celebration for the Pine-Richland seniors. 8 of their starting 11 are in the senior class. For Allderdice, it's a very different story. Youth shall be served on the south side. 5 seniors, yes, but also 17 freshmen altogether on the varsity and JV rosters put together for head coach Jeremiah Dugan. And 2 of those first-year players, including Shevitz, have shown a lot of promise. At the other end, Pine-Richland goalkeeper Shea Best playing this ball short. Rams going with a back line of Huey, White, Cassidy, and Salas. An unforced error by the Pine-Richland defense. Throw in to Allderdice, just outside, I should say, the attacking third. From between the benches, far touchline. The Rams easily win back possession, but again, a miscue gives Allderdice another throw in from about 10 yards past the center stripe. Rams deploy a triple team. And again, they're content to play this ball out between the benches. Dice with another throw in early in a scoreless match. Alexa Leventon, one of those talented freshmen for Allderdice, playing that ball, which the Rams promptly send deep into Allderdice real estate, and coming well off her line to play it back toward midfield is Daly. Kalia Sheriff with a throw-in along the near touch line. Right to the midfield marker, intercepted by the Rams. Lily Rosenwasser, recent Eastern Michigan commit, playing the ball. Team co-leader in goals as well with 7 unofficially. Rosenwasser, in fact, with the game winner in the last meeting between these sides. Pine-Richland, a very well-rounded team, a plus 27 goal differential on the year coming into this match. With it atop the attacking third for the Dragons is Leventon. She plays that ball off a Rams midfielder, and Pine-Richland is back to the center circle. Shevitz did well to win that ball back for Allderdice, but turned it right back over. Bennett at midfield was unable to advance it for PR. And the long lead ball by Allderdice is erroneous. And from the far touchline, the Rams throw it back in, deep in their own territory, and quickly cede possession back to the Dragons. 6th minute of a goalless senior night match here at Pine-Richland High School. The Rams varsity girls trying to end their regular season on a high note as they get ready for the WPIAL playoffs. This ball lobbed from about 25 yards into the box from the far right. Easy play there for the Pine-Richland keeper, Best. And with open passers in front of her, she'll get a running start and drive this ball past midfield. Allderdice wins the aerial duel, but the Rams control the ball. Emmy Klein, the conquering heroine of that recent victory against rival NA. Late penalty wanted for the Rams. Chip toward goal and put in. A deep cross from the far corner is knocked in by the Rams. And in the 7th minute, it's 1-0 for the hosts.
Score by Pine-Richland.
And it looked like Klein got the last boot on the ball, the senior midfielder.
Score by Emmy Klein.
She caught Daly leaning the wrong direction, and right in the middle of that 6-yard box, it became an easy tap-in. And so just as quickly as Rosenwasser shared that team lead in goals, Klein, the elder Klein that is, takes it back with her 8th of the season for Pine-Richland. Klein also will be playing Division I football next year for a team yet to be officially announced. Klein, one of 8 recognized pre-game during the Pine-Richland Senior Night ceremony as the Rams are up 1-0 early. Allderdice is a team conceding for the 25th time this year. That brings the goal differential to -9 on the season. But again, the City League programs playing predominantly WPIAL 4A and 3A teams throughout the regular season in the absence of a longer list of City League opponents. The Rams midfield coalescing at the top of their defensive third, and to midfield it'll be played to Klein, the recent goal-getter. And a through ball intended for Klein will instead come right to Daly, who strolls to her left and scoops it up. Looked like Klein and Bennett not quite in sync on that passing play. And Daly drop kicks it toward midfield. Pine-Richland promptly into the attacking third, winning the ball back for Allderdice. Noah Offner, the sophomore defender. Rams play takeaway. Klein resetting to Baker. Molly Baker to the far touchline. Allderdice with numbers in front of goalkeeper Daly, but the Rams keep possession at the top of the attacking third, and it's played up the right wing to Huey. Diving attempt, save made, and the rebound is smashed in. And that was like shooting fish in a barrel for Molly Baker. A diving stop by Daly, but from the prone position, nothing she could do about that juicy rebound. And from the edge of the 6-yard box, it becomes an easy second goal credited to Baker. And the Rams go up by 2-0 inside the first 10 minutes of this senior night match.
Score by number 11, Molly Baker.
Baker's 4th of the season, and Pine-Richland off to the optimal start, which is, if you're Jordan Wigan, exactly what you wanted to see, building that confidence early on. And it's an interesting position to be the away team in a senior night match, especially if you're a team like Allderdice that quite literally has nothing to lose. They're getting ready for a postseason run of their own, and Jeremiah Dugan, their head coach, has very high expectations for this year's Allderdice team. And when you've got a team that has nothing to lose against a team with a little bit more to lose, at least in terms of playing for pride in front of the senior night crowd, well, that's when strange things can happen. But Pine-Richland to this point very businesslike, establishing the early 2-goal advantage thanks to Klein, Emmy Klein, that is, and just moments ago, Baker. 10th minute, Rams right back to work deep in the attacking third. Turnaround strike by Klein is blocked right atop the box. Rams collect the rebound. At the corner of the box, Huey plays it inside the 18. And it'll be driven toward goal, but right at Emma Daly. Pine-Richland again playing that ball from a good healthy distance from goal, about 20-25 yards on that left elbow. The Dragons reeling a bit after conceding twice here on the road. This through ball played for Brooklyn Potter. Potter marked quickly. Pine-Richland cuts out the pass. And Salas and company will watch this ball go out of bounds, but last touched by Potter, it appears from our vantage point. Throw into Pine-Richland deep in the defensive third. Rams restart play from the far side of the field. This ball played inadvertently off the nearest PIAA official, and play does continue. Potter trying to flag that one down, but you'll have to settle for an Allderdice throw-in deep on the far touchline. Driven toward goal and jumping up to get that ball before Leventon can get to it at the edge of the box on the far side is Best. And Best will drive it to midfield with Pine-Richland up 2-0 in the 12th minute. Cleared out near side by Rosenwasser. Charlie Klein playing it inside the attacking third, but the Rams not able to do much with that ball as Allderdice quickly advances it to midfield. With the Rams on the retreat, Potter is forced out of bounds right in front of the Pine-Richland bench. It'll be a throw into the Dragons. But the far official, or the official on the far touchline, I beg your pardon, begging to differ, and they're actually going to give possession to Pine-Richland inside their defensive third. Mariah Neese, trying to play that one ahead on the right wing, but could not. Neese coming off a big goal on Allderdice's senior night this past Monday, a 3-2 victory over Butler. And on the right elbow with it for Pine-Richland is Huey. Into the box, but beyond the purview of Klein. And it'll be played along the goal line, but it had already gone out, officials say, and it'll be an Allderdice goal kick, which was our first inclination, and now confirmed. Carolina Jaramillo, the junior midfielder, getting ready to check in for Allderdice as Jeremiah Dugan makes his first substitution of the match. His team down by a pair of goals. And a miscue. Klein would have had an open cage to shoot at, but officials decide that she didn't give keeper Daly enough room to clear that ball, and so now that Daly has her buffer zone, and actually Daly's still talking with the official about something, one of the two officials. So Daly will comply, and the clearance is a low line drive brought to midfield by Leventon. Played back inside the Pine-Richland third. Baker toward midfield. Leventon wins back possession for the Dragons in the neutral zone. Sheriff up the left flank, intended for Nice. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in to the Dragons. Correction, they're going to say that Sheriff was fouled at midfield, so the Dragons, right from that center stripe, will get the free restart. Here in the 16th minute, Pine-Richland leading Allderdice by 2-0. Shevitz controls up the left flank and lost it to Huey. Good defending there by the first year, and Huey gets the throw-in for Pine-Richland in its own half. Promptly played right back out by Shevitz. Another throw-in for Huey from practically the same spot. Klein with a diagonal ball. Intended for Baker. Baker, from her natural position on that left wing, plays it back toward midfield. Rams trying to get organized. Allderdice won't let him. Maddie Schneider, the senior midi, up the right flank. Diagonal ball toward the Pine-Richland box, but the Rams play it innocently back to midfield. Schneider battling for that ball just beyond the Pine-Richland third, but Allderdice has to retreat, and they turn the ball over. Dragons win it back. Best coming well off her line and takes a bit of a calculated gamble, chipping it toward midfield, but she gets the job done. Looked like one of the Dragons was bearing down on her, Shevitz evidently, but couldn't get there in time to get to the loose ball. Potter, marked by White, and White is the one who last touched the ball. Jaramillo, and Shira Levy, the junior forward, checking in for Dice. As we approach the midpoint of this first half on Pine-Richland senior night, the Rams scoring twice in the first 10 minutes of the match to take the lead over the City League leaders. Klein met in front of the visiting bench. Baker plays it back toward midfield. Diagonal ball on the right wing to a wide open Huey. Huey across the pitch to the top of the box. Rams collect it. They're forced back outside the attacking third. Allderdice very strong on the ball in that sequence, and the Rams are going to get fouled. Salas called for the push right around midfield, and so Allderdice gets another free kick. This ball driven 20-some yards from the right wing. Shevitz going after it. Correction, Leventon, the other rookie, ballyhooed as she is for the Allderdice Dragons, and the Rams are able to win a deep throw-in in their own territory, near touchline. That throw-in cut out, however, by Leventon. Rams have to tactfully play this ball back toward midfield, and they will. Sheriff playing that ball to Jaramillo on her right. The substitute midfielder getting her first touch. Meanwhile, Jordan Wigan getting ready to empty his bench a bit. Riley Santina. Lily Melib and Lily Ross also checking in. Satina, a junior. Mihib a sophomore, Ross a first year. A forward slash defender, a defender slash midfielder, and a midfielder, respectively. Pine-Richland, meanwhile, earning a throw-in on the far touchline inside the attacking third. Played to the edge of the box. Nice ball there for Baker, and she had stopped, ranging to her left slightly. To settle it down is Daly. Halfway through half number one here in Gibsonia, Rams with a 2-goal lead over Allderdice. Pine-Richland Senior Night 2025. The Rams looking to collect lucky 13, as it were, their 13th overall regular season victory. Pine-Richland riding shotgun only to Seneca Valley in Whippeal Section 3 of 4A. And for Wigand and his coaching staff, that's got to be deja vu all over again, as when he took over the boys program, it was Seneca Valley on the boys side also. That was the bugaboo, as it were, the team that the boys team had to get past, the hump that they had to get over, and obviously on the biggest stage they eventually did. And Seneca Valley, the only team to beat this Rams squad twice during the regular campaign. And since the Raiders' most recent victory over the Rams have not conceded. In fact, they've conceded just 4 times all season. Just a clinical effort on defense all year long by Coach Wigand and his very senior-laden team. Nice ball here for Klein on the right wing. She drives it toward goal. It's slapped in the air and held. A good stop there by Daly. You just get the feeling that the Rams are one big strike away from really opening the floodgates here, at least the way this match started, with Pine-Richland jumping on Allderdice early and quickly. And even if they haven't gotten that breakout play or breakout goal yet, they've certainly tilted the pitch, continued to tilt the pitch in a big way against Daly and company. Dragons looking to find an answer as this is played off the Pine-Richland body, that of Malib. Through ball just a little too strong for Potter of Allderdice. Scooped up in plenty of time by Best. And she'll survey the play before driving this ball from goal. Dragons playing lots of attention to Klein, and judiciously so, all things considered, but Pine-Richland continues to work it up the left flank. Good play defensively by Shevitz to clear the 18-yard box, but the Rams inside the attacking third away from the play are fouled, and Pine-Richland from the left elbow gets an indirect free kick roughly 30 yards from goal, and it looks like Klein is going to tee it up to take it. Allderdice had a 3-player wall forming at the top of the 18 on that left edge, and they get back into place now. Klein toward goal and didn't miss by a lot, but it's a goal kick for Allderdice all the same. And Klein wasn't messing around on that one. She really struck that ball well, but not quite well enough. '25th minute, as Daly goes short to her extreme left with a free kick and turns it right over to Satina. Satina immediately surrounded by white shirts. Schneider turning it over to Pine-Richland's Milib atop the attacking third. DeJesus from 30 yards, well wide of the far post. And again, the Dragons get a goal kick. Jeremiah Dugan, getting ready to make another substitution as the Dragons play this ball back to midfield where it's immediately taken over by Salas. With it for Pine-Richland was Aubrey Bennett, but the point moot as the Rams were called for a foul inside the attacking third. Offner on the free restart drives it well past midfield. Dragons play it up the left wing. Schneider surrounded by Rams defenders. Melib unable to keep it in play. Throw in for Allderdice. Deep in Pine-Richland real estate on the far touchline. On the near touchline, in the 27th minute. Wholesale substitutions by the Dragons, down 2-0 with time winding down in the opening stanza. And here come the Rams one more time. Baker on the left wing. Well marked by Offner. Baker does earn a throw-in deep on the far touchline. Or does she? No, they're going to say that went off Baker. So the Dragons put it back in play, but yield possession immediately. Rams unable to restart their attack, however. And Salas retreats inside the midfield stripe to play this ball up the left flank for Pine-Richland. It comes across intended for for Satina on the near side. Melib with a throw in for Pine-Richland in the attacking third. Klein separates from her defender. Klein atop the box. Klein turns around and, in American football, that would be 3 points, but for our purposes, it's a goal kick. Klein is a very powerful shot, but last couple attempts just has had a little bit of trouble settling that ball down and getting it on frame. Of course, she did have the first Pine-Richland goal this evening, followed shortly thereafter by a second chance score by Molly Baker, her fellow senior. Pine-Richland with a multi-goal cushion inside the 30th minute. Leventon on the left elbow for Allderdice. Not strong enough on this ball. Played back toward midfield by Melib. Baker to Klein. And this ball will ricochet conveniently to Satina, but the Dragons have it well covered. From the edge of the attacking third, Bennett Plays this through ball a little too far for Satina. It's over the line for an Allderdice goal kick. Schneider and Sheriff among the starting 11 for Allderdice, re-entering the match for the Dragons inside the final 10 minutes of the first half. Daly off to a running start. That ball intercepted by Bennett, or deflected by Bennett, I should say, and that stunned her as she is in a seated position, and we get an injury stoppage by one of these PIAA referees. The clock is halted with 9:37 remaining, to be exact. I thought that Bennett might have caught that ball off a shin guard, and it may have, but it also might have caught her in a vulnerable spot there on that left leg that she's kind of stretching out at the moment. Fortunately, doesn't appear to need any further attention, and we're quickly back to action. Deflected into the Allderdice bench by the Rams inside the neutral zone, and we're going to get a card. Baker is shown yellow. And so she'll have to sit for the next 5 minutes. Rosenwasser, meanwhile, getting ready to re-enter for Pine-Richland. Still trying to surmise what exactly the foul was on Baker. The initial indication seemed to be for a flying elbow or an arm of some sort on the challenge, as she and her Allderdice counterpart went for the ball in front of the away bench. But in any event, Baker, usually a pretty clean player, ironically, has been put on notice here on senior night as this cross goes through the box and out the near side. It'll be a throw-in for Allderdice defensively. The throw-in intercepted by Milib, played ahead to Klein. Klein couldn't get to it in time. A heady play there by Shevitz, the midfielder, in a defensive position. And again, for a rookie, you see the potential that Jeremiah Dugan talked about. Even when she's not scoring, she's playing her position responsibly and trying to help out her team any way she can. Dugan literally called Shevitz and Leventon the heart, quote-unquote, of their midfield. And two players that, for any Whitfield varsity team, by those standards, play an awful lot of minutes for first-year varsity players. Pine-Richland inside the attacking third on the left wing. They draw the double team as this turnaround shot is propelled wide by DeJesus. Daly will take her time surveying the play and drop kick it toward midfield. Cut out easily by Pine-Richland. Deflected back toward goal by Satina. Dragons play it out of bounds near side. Throw in for Pine-Richland inside the attacking third. Milib looks for a target. Has one in Klein. Klein resetting to Ross. Played to the edge of the box, but cleared promptly by the Dragons. Neese getting tied up with one of the Rams at midfield as Pine-Richland plays it up the left flank. And the Rams have earned a throw-in on the far touchline in the 33rd minute. Klein lets one rip, and going to her knees to make that save is Daly at the far side. Leventon dispossessed near midfield, but she is able to win the ball back and get it up ahead to Nice. Nice overwhelmed. Klein immediately attracting defensive attention, tries to reset it to Bennett just beyond the attacking third, and it's cleared away by Schneider from the top of the defensive third for Allderdice. Pine-Richland quickly throwing it back in between the benches. Ross outmaneuvering Anjali Chickering, one of the first-year players who checked in some time ago in that mass wave of Allderdice substitutions. Melib with a diagonal ball intended for Klein is cut out. Sophomore forward Brooklyn Potter re-entering for Allderdice. As this ball is thrown in near side by Katie Fielder, the junior defender. Sylvie Bales of Allderdice toward midfield. Rams play it into the visiting bench. Throw in for the Dragons. And one of the Allderdice 11 appears to be coming up lame right at the away bench. So we get another stoppage inside of 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Allderdice, a team that started 5-0 this year in City League / Whippy Old Girls Soccer. And the last time an Allderdice girls team started a season 5-0, the We Are Family Pirates were World Series champions. So interpret that as you wish. And not to be outdone, the Dragons went on to win 6 of their first 8 for the first time in 20 years. So they have very high expectations. One of the better girls' sides they've fielded. And Dugan has said the bar is to win a state playoff game, something that has yet to be done in the history of the Allderdice girls program. And the Dragons certainly getting a tough pre-playoff test here tonight as Pine-Richland tries to put on a show for family and friends on senior night. Rams, by and large, not threatened all that much in this first half of a match that they lead 2-0. Free kick from just inside the midfield circle, driven right toward goal, and in the right place at the right time is Shea Best. Offner with the touch on that ball for Allderdice as Best tees it up 25 yards from goal and drives it beyond midfield. One of the Dragons fouled in the back by Klein. Looked like Leventon was the aggrieved party. And so Allderdice, this time inside their own half, gets another free restart. Offner again will do the honors on the left flank. And nothing coming of this free kick as the Dragons evidently committed a foul as that ball was incoming. And so Riley White, the senior defender, will play it toward midfield. Send immediately on the right wing to Satina. Satina into the box and just unable to get on the end of that one. It looked like Klein In the meantime, Baker has done her time for the yellow card, and she re-enters for Jordan Wigand in the 38th minute. Daly, about 30 yards from goal, playing it up to Schneider. Rams intercept it. Diagonal ball on the right wing for Milib. Milib keeps it in play. Milib with a cross to Klein. Klein with a maneuver. The shot is blocked. Klein deferred to Cassidy, it looked like, from our vantage point, and the senior defender's shot was blocked. Dragons clear it into the Pine-Richland third. The Rams avoid a foul call when one of the Allderdice runners went down. And with time ticking down in the first half, the Rams will play it into Allderdice territory one more time. A diagonal ball into the box. The Dragons win possession defensively, and they clear it out of harm's way with Baker looking for another gift. With the throw in, Milib. Klein trying to split the defense. She cannot. Rams win the ball back. Milib from outside the 18-yard box has her ball deflected. Ross on her right to Milib. Milib with a diagonal ball for Satina. Satina from the edge of the box airmails this one, and it'll be a goal kick for Daly in the final half minute before the break. Low line drive cut out by Klein. Baker on her right to Milib. Milib into the box. The Dragons read it well, however. 10 seconds remaining. Klein at the buzzer, but the point moot as the shot is blocked. Klein had a lot of company in that attacking third, but she did find a way to get that ball past Emma Daly early in this first half. And not long thereafter, a second chance goal by Molly Baker. So the seniors on senior night getting into the act. And at halftime at Pine-Richland Stadium, it is the Rams leading Allderdice by 2-0. Matt Popchock with you for Pittsburgh Soccer Now on YouTube. More to come in just a bit. Well, the last time that Pine-Richland was able to celebrate a girls' WPIAL soccer championship, their head coach, Jordan Wiggand, was graduating from one of Pine-Richland's section rivals, North Hills High School, not far from here. And now Wiggand, hoping to lead the varsity Rams to their first WPIAL title since that 2006 campaign. A Pine-Richland team that at the time was 1 year removed from a state championship and a big upset at the time in that state final of 2005. And first things first, they've got to take care of business in the remainder of their non-section matches, including this one, and enter the postseason on a high note and a healthy one at that. So far, so good on Senior Night 2025. We're seeing some of the hats and coats and what have you being broken out. Fall, maybe, at long last, arriving in Western PA on a more permanent basis. And earlier tonight, we saw the Pine-Richland Rams jump on the Allderdice Dragons early, scoring twice in the first 10 minutes of this senior night match. And the Rams are up 2-0 on the Dragons as the side switch has occurred. The Dragons are retaking the pitch. Pine-Richland in their little powwow before the first touch of half number 2. Allderdice dropping the curtain on their regular season tonight. Their 14th regular season match, most of them taking place against WPIAL competition. Pine-Richland solidly in second place in Section 3 of WPIAL 4A, ahead of North Allegheny, behind Seneca Valley, and looking to host a home playoff match, which is looking more and more in the cards as the season winds down. And the Rams get the first touch of the second half as we're back to action with Pine-Richland moving this ball right to left on your TV, computer, or mobile device. It was Emmy Klein in the 3rd minute, Molly Baker in the 7th. Pine-Richland trying to close out the Dragons as firing this ball into the goal. Inside the box is Molly Baker. And she is all about the brace here on senior night.
Score by number 11, Molly Baker.
It wasn't a direct ball, but it was put on a platter for Baker right in the middle of that 18-yard box, and she rocketed it past goalkeeper Daly. And the Rams in the 41st minute have made it a 3-0 advantage. And we told you in that first half, inasmuch as Allderdice settled down considerably after falling behind early, the Rams were still sawing wood and putting pressure on throughout that first half. And you got the feeling if they could get that next goal, they could really take a chokehold on the match. And certainly continues to feel that way as the Rams possess the ball and matriculate it toward midfield. Foul on the Dragons, and Pine-Richland will get a free kick right at the midfield stripe. Just shy of the 18, Klein going after it. Bennett dropping it back for Klein. Klein from 25. The bouncing shot is held by Daly. Daly, Schneider, Dahlia Farkas, the defender. Kimberly Hernandez, another defender, and Nice, the striker, the 5 Allderdice seniors here on Pine-Richland senior night that are seeing duty for the away side. And you have to be a season keeper not to be intimidated by this particular Pine-Richland lineup. And Daly has, scoreline aside, made some fine saves throughout this match. Offner, with the defensive free kick for Allderdice, puts it a good 40 yards into the Pine-Richland half before the Rams work it to the right flank. This ball intercepted by Fiedler and played under the Pine-Richland bench for a Rams throw-in. Huey and the Rams working it along that right side. Baker with it again for DeJesus. Into the box, nice ball. And a fourth Pine-Richland goal for Aubrey Bennett.
Pine-Richland goal scored by Aubrey Bennett.
Bennett with a shot that overwhelmed Daly from close range. Bennett's fourth of the season in the 44th minute, and fours are lucky at Pine-Richland High School. The home team scored twice in the first 10 minutes. They score twice in the first 4 minutes of half number 2 and lead the Dragons by 4-0. Baker, not long ago with her fifth and second of the match, and now most recently Bennett adding to the Pine-Richland cushion. And as a coach, you love to see it. The seniors playing their senior night match exactly the way you dream it up, as this diagonal ball is settled down by Baker, and Baker, a little overzealous on that strike, plays it well beyond the grandstand behind goal, and the Dragons will put it back into play.
Baker's 11. She's over here. Who kicked that? I don't know. That's Lily Rosenwasser. She kicked it.
Daly plays it short, but it takes a friendly Allderdice bounce to midfield, and the Rams' Salas will work it up the left flank. It comes now to Baker, and that ball went right off the back of Allderdice's Eliza Schneider. No worse for the wear. And the Dragons get a throw-in just inside the Pine-Richland half on the near touchline. Looks like Sylvie Bales will defer to her defender, Offner. The Rams have this ball well defended as it enters the box, and Best will settle it down with her right foot. Shea Best, another one of the senior night honorees, decked out in that gray keeper kit with the gray pants and socks and black keeper gloves. Offner on the left flank for Potter. Potter puts it off a Rams defender. Dragons win a throw-in on the far side. Now, for reasons undetermined, this throw-in for Allderdice turns into an indirect free kick in front of the away bench. That ball lands about 5 yards from the box before the Rams play it back toward the circle. Bennett, deep in that midfield, up to the center stripe. Rosenwasser to Klein. Klein and Rosenwasser crisscrossing. DeJesus under pressure at the top of the attacking third. The Rams just sort of playing keep away with this ball at the moment. Klein takes a bit of a beating as she tried to work that ball up the right side, and it'll be out off of Klein's dribbling foot, and it'll be a defensive throw-in for the Dragons, who make a substitution in the meantime. Mira Schwartz, the sophomore defender, seeing some minutes late in this non-section match for the Dragons. Rams from inside the box. Deep on the right wing. It's played out of bounds off an Allderdice defender by Rosenwasser. And the first corner kick of the match, believe it or not, finally occurs in the 51st minute. The 49th minute, I beg your pardon. In-swinging ball off the head of Klein and out off another Allderdice defender. So the Rams, after getting a corner kick at the flag to the left of Daly, now get one at the flag to Daly's right. Again, neither team had a corner kick in the first half, and now suddenly the Rams have had two. A curling corner almost got past Daly. It's played outside the 6-yard box. The Rams retain possession. It's driven toward goal, and the header is knocked in. Or is it? Officials roll offside. The Rams in those green kits, had all sorts of numbers in the box. But they were in an offside position, so it remains 4-0 as this goal kick is cut out by the Rams deep in the attacking third. Rosenwasser along the back line, and it's chipped just wide of goal by Klein between two defenders. And they're going to say that actually deflected off of Fiedler. Well, they had a better vantage than we did, so the Rams, lo and behold, get a third consecutive corner kick at the flag to Daly's left. The Rams again really crowding that box as it's chipped wide of goal. So 11 minutes into the second half. Milaib unable to put that ball on frame, and so Daly puts it back into play. The Rams all over it one more time, and they will get a throw-in in the attacking third. Salas hurls it back into action, and a foul is called on one of the Dragons. It looks like Shevitz, the freshman, is the guilty party. Indirect free kick forthcoming to Pine-Richland from the left corner of that 18-yard box. And Klein will get it set up for Pine-Richland. Allderdice setting up a three-player wall. That wall lines up directly in front of Klein, who has the referee's ready signal. Klein off the running start. Oh, finds the woodwork, but does not find the mesh. That went right off the bar, over the outstretched hand of Daly, and eventually it's out across the far touchline for a Pine-Richland throw-in. One more time it'll come into the box. Milaib with her noggin trying to get on the end of that one, and now aggressively playing it is Daly, coming off her line into the sea of bodies to snatch that bouncing ball. And both teams will drop back as Daly gets ready to clear it. Unfortunately for Allderdice's sake, Daly shanking this one off to her right. Allderdice midfield has to do some work to get this ball back up to midfield, which they do to their credit. Forced out near side by Cassidy the senior defender. Allderdice with a throw-in. And from midfield, it comes to Nice. Nice diagonal ball, but a little too far for Nice, and playing it conservatively for Pine-Richland is White defensively. Quick clearance on the move by Shea Best. Shevitz going after this ball at midfield for Allderdice. And up ahead it comes. Diagonal ball intended for Baker on the left wing, was nowhere close. Dragons try to get their transition game going here in the 53rd minute. Potter drew some heavy contact as she tried to send that ball to Leventon on her left. No foul called, and Pine-Richland gets the defensive throw-in right in front of the visitors' bench. Emmy Klein in front of her Pine-Richland teammates, seated left of midfield, playing that ball for the Rams. Allderdice now into the Pine-Richland half. Potter for Nice. Nice trying to go after that ball. Potter, another one of the Allderdice goal scorers in that impressive victory over Butler on Monday night. The Dragons running into a much more formidable foe this evening. Pine-Richland with a comfortable lead on their senior night as we near the hour mark here in Gibsonia. Rams scoring twice very early in the first half and doing so again very early in the second half. 2 quick goals, and that's where we stand as the Rams midfield is called for a foul. Allderdice with a free kick at the left edge of that circle above the giant PR logo on this artificial turf. Rams have it well covered. And Baker will take matters into her own hands, moving this ball to the edge of the attacking third, splits the defense, draws the contact, and tries to dump it off to Klein before she is dispossessed. Potter, drifting to her left, draws a double team. Her diagonal ball will not get near its intended target, Nice. Milib with a good positional play there on the back end, and Shea Best will drop kick this ball toward midfield. Rosenwasser drew the contact as she fed the ball diagonally to Baker. The Rams try to work it from the left side back into the 18, but the deflection by Klein, Emmy Klein that is, goes awry, and Allderdice gets the goal kick. Low line drive, played by Shevitz. Fiedler unable to advance it for the Dragons. Klein around a defender. Deep on the left wing, her turnaround shot is blocked. Boyle, the sophomore, controlling her gap, but it is out for a Pine-Richland corner kick. At the flag to the right of goalkeeper Emma Daly, the Rams will put it in play. Outswinging ball, off ahead, Chased down by Rosenwasser. This ball slingshotted back into the 6-yard box, and we get a foul on Pine-Richland away from the action. Dragons get possession inside their own 18. It's worked up to Potter at midfield. Potter marked by White. Dragons up the left wing. Neese trying to turn around and control the ball. Potter with a desperation attempt from 30 yards out. That's blocked easily. Pine-Richland clears it into the away bench for an Allderdice throw-in. Levy and Jaramillo, the juniors, back in off the bench for Jeremiah Dugan. His team trailing Jordan Wiggins' Pine-Richland Rams on Pine-Richland Goals senior night by 4-0. And if this scoreline holds, it'll be back-to-back clean sheets for the Rams, and all in all, they're 7th in their last 8 matches consecutively. Rams started the season 7 consecutive matches, 5 in a row at one point without conceding. And indeed, we have reached the hour mark here at Pine-Richland Stadium with the class of 2026 and the rest of the Pine-Richland Rams still holding that 4-goal lead. Satina and Milab re-entering for Jordan Wiggins, and the junior striker Alexia Hensel sees her first minutes of the match. Hensel, one of the 3 different Pine-Richland goal scorers in the last meeting between these teams back in September. One of 2 goals Hensel has scored this year off of Wiggins' bench. Meanwhile, the Rams get a free kick from the edge of their own third. And it comes all the way into Allderdice territory before Bennett has to settle it down. Bennett had the most recent goal for Pine-Richland early in the second half. And Klein again will let one fly from distance. And again, Daly reads it well and stops it in front of that far post. And officials have stopped play with just over 19 minutes remaining in this second half. And we're trying to figure out exactly why that is the case. Jordan Wiggins getting a talking to from one of the 3 PIAA officials on duty. And we covered a Pine-Richland boys game some time ago in which Wiggins went into the books, but I'm not exactly sure if he did, why he did just now. And for the moment, it'll have to remain a mystery as Pine-Richland plays it up the left wing. Off the Molly Baker throw-in, Klein is unable to turn that ball toward goal. I'll say this for Allderdice. They know exactly who to keep an eye on, and seems like literally every time Klein has touched that ball, she's had minimally 2 defenders right on top of her. And even despite that, she would get credit for the game-winning goal of this match, provided Allderdice is not able to pull one back before the final whistle. Klein and Baker scoring in the first half. Baker again, and then Bennett in half number 2. Rams on the right side, deep into the attacking third. Crossed in from the corner. That pass interrupted by Olivia Boyle. Pine-Richland with a throw-in right in front of the field house off in the distance. Rams play it into the box, and Daly directs her defenders to just let her have that one. Meanwhile, Chickering, the first-year midfielder, and Evelina Morris, the sophomore defender, getting ready to check back in for Allderdice. Rams control this ball inside their defensive third, far side. Played up the flank for Rosenwasser. Rosenwasser, who also has attracted a lot of attention, draws a double team and earns the throw-in inside the attacking third. And this time Satina will restart play for Pine-Richland on that right wing. Dragons well positioned, and Pine-Richland will get a throw in from the same spot on that far touchline. Allderdice working it up to midfield, and a nice ball just eluding its intended target, Mariah Neese. Best way off her line, sending that ball the other direction, and eventually Pine-Richland earns an indirect free kick on the left wing. Klein will tee it up on that left elbow about 35 yards from goal. And she goes right at goal, and Daly had to be ready to settle that down with both hands. Now, in Klein's world, I guess there is no such thing as an indirect free kick. We've seen her go for a couple of golazzos tonight. And is still stuck on just that one at the beginning of the match. Klein and Rosenwasser, the two leading goal scorers for the 2025 Rams, who came into this match with 31 goals in all as a team. "25 yards from goal thereabouts. The turnaround attempt by Jaramillo is gloved easily by Best. One of the few shots the Dragons have been able to put near frame, let alone on frame, this evening. Salas. Up ahead for Hensel. Pine-Richland offside as Hensel thought about going to Baker. And she'll have to hold that thought. Offner gets a free kick from inside the defensive third near side. At midfield, Schneider That lead pass too heavy for Nice. And Best, just shy of the 18, will drop kick this ball high into the night sky here in Gibsonia. Allderdice briefly won that ball from Pine-Richland, but the Rams work it past the stripe, and they'll be called for a foul here as one of the Dragons went down at the edge of the circle. And looks like they're going to get Klein for that one. Another free kick for Allderdice. This time they gain some territory. Offner just shy of midfield, off a Pine-Richland head and bouncing right at Best. And no chance for the Dragons to make a play on that one. 68th minute here from Pine-Richland High School, with the Rams leading comfortably on Girls Varsity Senior Night 2025. Diagonal ball by Baker. And eventually, Allderdice on the errant Pine-Richland pass earns a goal kick. And Jordan Wiggin is going to substitute his keeper. Shea Best gets a nice round of applause. And look at this happening on the Pine-Richland sideline. You can't see this, but like a pit crew, they're helping Best change out of her keeper kit and into an outfield uniform. So Best is going to leave goal and play one of the field positions to close out her senior night match for Pine-Richland. And these senior night fans are going to love seeing that. And meanwhile, the backup keeper will enter the cage for Pine-Richland, and that is number 0, the sophomore Amelia Van Meter. Brother Doug, a defender on the Pine-Richland hockey team, which we'll be seeing on 10-band TV, our friends over there, tomorrow night as they take on Peters Township. Meanwhile, Fiedler, from deep in her own end, for Allderdice, plays it on her left to Schneider. Eliza Schneider unable to handle the pass. Pine-Richland with a throw-in on the far side. The Rams just kind of working this ball around the edge of that attacking third as Rosenwasser goes to work deep in the corner at the far corner flag. And a hard collision there between players on opposite sides. It looks like Evelina Morris was the one who got knocked down for Allderdice, and Morris goes down again trying to play that ball into Pine-Richland real estate. White retreating, and she'll be content to just knock it out of bounds and let the Rams take their chances with this Allderdice throw-in. And so there it is, Best from keeper kit number 1 to outfield kit number 5 for the Pine-Richland Rams. A uniform number that would normally be worn by junior Langdon Ott, the defender, will be worn by Best for the balance of this match. Under 10 minutes to go, and Pine-Richland can start celebrating a senior night victory. And all Best has to do now is score. And then she might really bring this house down if that comes to fruition. Klein, airborne at midfield, trying to play that ball away from Shira Levy. A correction, Shevitz. And Klein draws the foul just shy of the attacking third on this ball as she was challenged recklessly from behind. Riley White will take the free kick about 45 some yards from goal. She'll go right down the middle with it. It's bobbled and controlled eventually by Daly in the prone position. The Rams were looking for a cheapie, trying to get at least one more before that final horn sounds, but it was not to be. Klein nodding that ball ahead to Baker. Baker, a night to remember with her senior night brace. A big hand in Pine-Richland's imminent victory this evening. So the Rams will advance to 13-2 overall, plus one draw. Allderdice will conclude its regular season with an overall mark of 8-6, having leveled off a bit after that historic 5-0 start, but an interesting side nevertheless, and a team that might just need to grow before it can be a force in the postseason. But this has been almost entirely Pine-Richland's night. They get the two early goals to begin the match, including the first of Baker's pair, and really at no point did it feel like Pine-Richland was ever not in control of this one. Meanwhile, Allderdice seems to be making a change at keeper as well. Daly has come off, and Mira Schwartz, the sophomore, number 23, is putting on a makeshift keeper kit of some sort. It looks like a yellow penny that will go over top her regular kit. She's got the white goalie gloves on, and indeed Schwartz is going to go off the bench and between the sticks as Emma Daly is in some pain and being attended to by athletic trainers on the Allderdice bench, and why, we're not quite sure. We apologize. Another substitution for Allderdice. Meanwhile, Alex Karamalids, the junior defender, checking in for the first time tonight for the visitors. 73rd minute. Pine-Richland with a textbook effort here at home on senior night. And of course, anything can happen as far as WPIAL playoff seeding goes, and strange things certainly have happened over the years, but one would imagine the way this Pine-Richland team is played and just their overall form in and out of section that they would get pretty favorable treatment when the playoff pairings are decided, and evident, first impressions being what they are, that this Rams team will be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. But again, in that section, you've also got Seneca Valley, which has been able to beat the Rams twice, and you've got a tough North Allegheny team that has played the Rams very competitively. It's not always the best team that prevails in the postseason. It's often the team that just plays their best or happens to play their best at the right time. Meanwhile, Emma Klein, for the umpteenth time, goes for goal on a free kick from the left elbow, and it curls over top the bar for an Allderdice goal kick. And the backup keeper, Schwartz, will drive it low. Klein right there at the top of the attacking third to cut it out. And a foul along the far touchline on the Rams will give possession to Allderdice. as we approach 5 minutes remaining in regulation. And starting keeper Emma Daly, meanwhile, still being attended to on the Allderdice bench. Appears to be a hand injury of some kind to Daly. And again, we're not quite sure how the injury was incurred, but she is icing that hand. Of that much we are certain. You want a clean bill of health, obviously, before your own playoffs if you're Jeremiah Dugan. And Daly in particular, your senior keeper, one player you certainly don't want to lose for any extended period of time. Allderdice, led by Daly, with 6 clean sheets altogether this season. The Rams, less than 4 minutes away from making it a dozen clean sheets on their campaign. Maddie Schneider, the starting midfielder, getting ready to check back in for the Dragons as they drive this ball to midfield from the top of their defensive third. Baker on her right for Klein. Klein in front of a wall of Allderdice midfielders fighting for possession of this ball, but the Dragons win it. Evelina Morris pivoting and playing it just inside Pine-Richland territory. Klein one more time, and Shevitz marked her and knocked the ball out of bounds for a Pine-Richland throw-in. From the near touchline, Salas puts it into play. Knocked out defensively this time by Karamalids, and so the Rams get another throw-in and gain a territorial edge as a result. Now we've got a whistle behind the play. And Emma Klein will be put on notice. Well, unofficially, we'll call it a reckless challenge. Wasn't a ton of contact there by Klein, but Emmy Klein's senior night in any event is over as she has to sit with the yellow card. Offner on the restart to the top of the Pine-Richland third. The ball batted around by both teams before the Rams move it into Allderdice territory. Diagonal ball and trying to catch up to it for Pine-Richland, making the run. And that was Shea Best making that run for Pine-Richland and just couldn't hustle quite enough to get there. Shea Best in an outfield position, playing this ball one more time, this time on the left wing for Pine-Richland inside the final 2 minutes of the match. She's knocked down. Officials say play on. Allderdice operating quickly after the defensive throw-in, turns it over to the Rams. DeJesus into the 18. Shea knocked off balance, gets up to her feet as the Rams try to play takeaway. White from just beyond midfield. Up ahead for Baker. And Satina will get the throw in here, deep in Allderdice territory for Pine-Richland. Unforced error by Ross inside the attacking third, excuse me. Allderdice with a throw in their defensive third, far side. Baker battling for this ball for the Rams, trying to outmaneuver Maddie Schneider. To the edge of the box it'll come. Baker would love to turn that brace into a treble, but it'll have to wait. The Dragons win the ball and play it beyond center. Final half minute of play at Pine-Richland Stadium. Best unable to advance that ball. And on her right, Satina's shot is high and wide.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
That's it. Fort Pitt and Pine-Richland officially now can celebrate victory on senior night. And a decisive one it was. Molly Baker with a pair of goals. Aubrey Bennett tacking on. And Emmy Klein, the senior midfielder, with what proved to be the winning goal of the match. And all it took was 3 minutes for Klein to collect goal number 8 on her senior campaign. The handshake line commences, and we will thank Jordan Wigan and the Pine-Richland staff for their cooperation. And thank you to Pine-Richland High School, as always, for their hospitality. Thank you, John Krasinski, and thank you for watching and listening. Emphasis on listening. And we hope you'll log on to Pittsburgh Soccer Now the rest of the regular season. And as we roll into November, the postseason, we'll have championship coverage again this year from Highmark Stadium in print and on video. And wherever you can find us, we'll be there as we enter the Whippy Owen City League playoffs. At full time, it is the Pine-Richland Rams defeating the Allderdice Dragons on girls varsity senior night by 4-0. I'm Matt Popchock. That is all she wrote from Gibsonia, and thank you for listening on the Pittsburgh Soccer Now YouTube channel.